So exciting, folks, really exciting. Andy is the owner of Broker's Gin, and we've had Broker's Gin for 9-10 years at Aroma Time. And, you know, the exciting part is that I'm getting to meet you for the first time. And we love, you know, our connection. We're a farm-to-table restaurant, and, you know, farm-to-table goes way past just food. It's beverage, it's beer, it's wine, it's gin. So this is a really, really exciting thing, seeing you here. So if you can tell our customers a little bit about your gin, that would be awesome, because I'm impressed with this stuff, and that's why I've had it for so long. And I'm hoping that this little interview is going to get out there to our customers, and we're going to sell a ton of this stuff. I explained to you yesterday that Tanqueray is no longer in our restaurant because of political reasons, and I did a video on that on Diageo and why we don't support Diageo at all. So let's talk about your gin and why your gin is so successful, and the differences of your gin versus other gins.
Okay. Well, Marcus, thank you for the opportunity to do this. I'm delighted that you're supporting Broker's Gin. Excellent. So, for your viewers, I just want to start with the imagery first of all. You may notice that I'm wearing what's called a bowler hat, and I'm dressed in a pinstripe suit. And the reason for that is that my brother and I, who created Broker's Gin, decided to reflect the Englishness of the gin category in our product. Gin is the only spirit that historically has been made in England. And so we chose the image of a man in a bowler hat, the typical English gentleman, to reflect that historical association. And on the pack, we have a little bowler hat, which is a miniature version of mine. So that's the packaging. Inside the bottle, we have a gin that we make in a 200-year-old distillery outside London. And we use a 200-year-old recipe. So in effect, what we've done is we've recreated a classic London dry gin. Now, I just want to tell you about the three factors that distinguish one gin from another. The first is what you use as your base spirit. The way you make gin is you start with a neutral alcohol, a base spirit, an unflavoured spirit that you might otherwise call vodka, and then you redistill it with juniper berries and other spices, herbs and fruits. So the first question is what base spirit? You can make gin from grain, you can make gin from potato, you can make gin from molasses spirit, etc. We stick with the classic base, which is wheat. English wheat, 100% base spirit. The second factor, and in some ways this is the most interesting one, is what you use to flavour the gin, what botanicals. Now our recipe uses 10 traditional classic gin botanicals, juniper berries, a set of spices, and then ultimately orange peel and lemon peel. And what makes our gin so successful in taste tests is the fact that we haven't branched out and put in any unusual components. There are lots of new gins out there that are using all types of flowers, berries, seeds, weeds, you name it, in the effort to make their gin different. And those other gins, when you taste them, you often ask, oh, what have they put in their gin? With Brokers, there's nothing strange. So people like our gin, it doesn't conflict with their previous experience of the category. And the third parameter is what process do you use to get the flavour of the botanicals into the gin. The simplest way of doing it is to add liquid essences to a vat full of vodka. There are gins on the market in America made that way. They do not taste like a real distilled gin. Most gins are made by distilling, and there are different ways of doing that. The way we do that is we use a single copper pot still. We put our botanicals in the still with our neutral alcohol base, and we marinate and boil the botanicals. That gives a real depth of flavour to Brokers. It makes Brokers a rich, intense, full-bodied, full-flavoured gin. And that, again, that's why people like it. So those are the three factors. And I have to tell you that wherever we go, we win international spirits competitions. Every year for the last 6 years, we've won top prize in different competitions. The nearest one to where I am today, in Chicago, was in New York recently, where in the huge competition, Broker's Gin got top prize for gin with 97 points, beating all the other entrants. And then the last feature of Brokers is the price point. Although this gin is of super premium quality, it has a regular premium price. So in a liquor store, typically a bottle this size costs about $20. What's not to like with that, Marcus?
Beautiful. Talk about how the juniper berries are rounded out as opposed to predominant.
Okay, if you take, and I'm going to do this by contrast, I think you mentioned Tanqueray gin, Marcus. I'm
Yes.
not sure about that.
Please, yes.
Tanqueray gin is also a rich, fully flavoured gin, but of all the major premium gins, Tanqueray is the one that uses the fewest different botanicals. They only use 4. 4 of them that we use also: juniper, coriander seed, angelica root, and lemon. Because they use so few botanicals, the nature of Tanqueray is it's very juniper heavy. And for people who don't like that degree of juniper flavour, they look for something else. And Brokers satisfies that desire because our 6 extra botanicals just soften the juniper and give Brokers, most people would say, a smoother, a more rounded, a more complex flavour profile.
Beautiful. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate this. This was really an awesome seeing you here. Really awesome seeing you, meeting in person. And, you know, get your Brokers at Aroma Time.